Cranwell was again, is a different experience because you're now moving from, and this is probably the thing that people do see. You start in different messes. You start in number one mess, and you move on into different messes before you go to the college hall, the main one. So whenever you see a picture of RAF Cranwell, there's the big posh mess, beautiful with the gates, stunning place. But you don't start there. You start in the porter cabins over there somewhere, so that they can get rid of you steadily. And again, what you build in that, you build a bunch of friends and family, and they do become friends and family. Even to this day, you go through this training. And again, I didn't experience any racism there. Now, was it there? Probably. Did I experience it? No, because again, one of my friends, you say, I deal with things. I'm good with words. I said, not to punch people. I'm good with words. And he said, you could disarm people by just a few words. He said, well, I didn't have that in my arsenal. He said, I could never do that. He just want to have a scrap or whatever it was, push him around. So I never experienced it. Whether it was there, it probably was there. Because again, I went through Cranwell. You look at those photographs of that IOT, 97 IOT. You see, there's John Clarke there again, on his own. But what was interesting, I might have been the only black person, but there were people from Carlisle, Carlisle who speak like that, who don't speak like officers do. Manchester as well, Newcastle. So the isms of race didn't stand out at Cranwell because it was the isms of accent, which became more of a thing, because everyone expects officers to have this very plumb voice and very lovely, and you had a bunch of those who had that. But then you literally had the hockey playing Carlisle lass, Carol Postlethwaite. You had the Nichols of the world and it was so you had this sort of almost a grouping, which I was part of that grouping of the people who didn't fit what you'd expect to be coming through the door for officer training. So we actually became a nice little clan as well. We sort of clanned up a bit, which was quite nice. And again, no one gave us a hard time, or no one, but you could tell that there was a bit of a snobbery with some people, like, oh, do people speak like that? Do people, where's Carlisle? And well, Carlisle's up here, and all those accents became a thing more to define who you were than your colour as you went through, because it was that assumption that an officer has a plum in the mouth and comes from a certain background. And when you start digging into the backgrounds of some of the people at Cranwell, when I was there, there's a newspaper article in Telegraph that described Smethwick as a ghetto. And I remember walking around in one of the college halls going, I'm from a ghetto. Because it was like, Smethwick's described as ghetto. It's like, why is that? So definitions of colour then didn't matter. It was about where in the country you came from and what your accent was like at that stage. Yeah, it was but again, that was just within that small balloon of that training, because there's a bigger station there at Cranwell. There's a flying section there. There's a pure station. And this is the initial officer training group. Whatever happened there, I was not party to it. But I'm probably sure, like anywhere else, it would have existed there, racism at any level.